back to Cross Stitch the Globe. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Allison.
And this is a channel about cross stitch. Today is a Flosstube Extra. We're going to go over our results from the 2024 Oklahoma State Fair needlecraft competitions. And we're going to go over all of our results. We're also going to talk about, you know, kind of some general like things we got out of it. Yeah. What did we learn? Did we grow as people? We're going to do things differently next year. We have 3 kinds of videos on our channel. This is an extra. This is a topic where if we put it in a regular video, it would make a regular video not so long.
Way too long.
So these come out every other Monday, except for this one, which is coming out on a Thursday because of complications with our schedule. But normally these come out on Mondays. So normally we do regular Flosstubes on Mondays, and then these extras come out in between on the every other Monday. And then on Thursdays, we normally put out little baby short videos that are tutorials for beginner cross stitchers. We just did a how to use a hoop, like that level of beginner.
Get your hoops.
And we don't know what our one for next year, for next week is going to be.
Might as well be next year. That's just how far I'm thinking.
Yeah. So, but we do like to do those, and those come out on Thursdays. And if you're not a beginner and you see a topic where you're like, oh, I don't need that, but let me just check out what they say for 10 minutes. If you want to leave a comment and help give your own tips and advice, that can make those videos really resourceful for new stitchers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's dig in. So to set the scene, we entered in the 2023 Oklahoma State Fair, 1 piece each, because you can enter things that you had finished in the year before. Now they changed it to 2 years. And we each only had 1 piece that was finished. I only had 1 piece because I had literally just started cross stitching. And Allison had 1 piece because she was doing like big projects and then taking breaks in between, and she's been stitching at this point for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So
and they were mostly gifts.
Yes,
I didn't have.
And she gave them gifts. And actually, the one we entered, I entered it because I was like, "Oh, that's sitting at Mom and Dad's house. I can enter it without your permission." I did tell her. I told her I was going to enter it, but I did not need to logistically. Only morally, I needed to tell you. But logistically, I could have gotten away with it without telling you.
Yeah.
So I picked that up at Mom and Dad's and took that down to the State Fair.
Yeah.
And we both ribboned last year.
Yes.
And we did a video last year on our experiences from our first State Fair. And so then we had this whole past year of stitching knowing, okay, we're going to be entering things in the State Fair. And our State Fair has a lot of categories, which you will see. So we didn't have to make any decisions like what we were going to stitch based on could we fit it in the State Fair, because like every single thing we finished except for a couple Christmas ornaments got entered. And like 1 tiny Christmas small.
Yeah.
I didn't enter 3 ornaments, and she didn't enter 1 Christmas small, and every other thing we finished got entered. Mm-hmm. So we didn't have to think about it. But it was still fun knowing like, okay, well the deadline, our cross stitch year kind of runs
fair to fair.
Fair to fair, yeah. September to August, because
it's September to August vacation.
Yeah. So that's why we put out a finish parade.
Yeah.
So that's also why we don't have all the pieces here, because we put out a finish parade right before we drove everything to the State Fair. I'll link every video I mention in the description, so you can go watch that if you want to. So basically, everything that we had stitched for the past year, we fully finished, and we entered it in the fair, and we showed in that parade.
And we fully finished them like the 2 weeks prior to entry date.
Some of the judges didn't penalize us on our finishing skills as much as we thought they might.
I really thought it was going to be harsher.
Yeah. So that was
I
nice.
would not have blamed them. No. Our finishing was not.
There were some things
par.
that still ribbon where I was like, oh, I got a ribbon.
I was like, what? In that frame? In that frame?
Oh, but that was just duct. It was just duct tape and a prayer. So
finishing, that's one thing we learned this year. Finishing is not as important as the stitching.
And also, one of the things that I learned is I'm going to finish on a regular basis, FFO, on a regular basis, get them in frames or pillows or whatever on a regular basis, because I did not enjoy doing it at
the sprint.
At the end, yeah, it was really awful.
Mm-hmm.
So, to set the scene, we've done this before. We knew we were going to do this the whole year, and our State Fair is very generous with categories, which meant we weren't like having to kill our darlings and only pick the best ones. And at the end, we both did finish. I think you did. I definitely did. Try to hurry up and finish some things to get them in this year's fair. I don't remember if you did either, but I think you did the Peacock.
Oh yeah, I wanted the
because you were stitching it.
Yeah,
you were sewing it in. Yeah. So we both, and I with Peanut Palace, we both did say, okay, let's get some stuff in that was like close to the end, but not at the finish line. So that's kind of like, we were not brand new this year, but we also didn't enter like a finished Hawk Run Hollow. You know, we were kind of like...
Nothing like that.
We stitched what we wanted to stitch. We didn't stitch anything specifically
There were no masterpieces
for the fair, but we did stitch them with the idea of getting them into the fair. Okay, so, and when I say our state fair has a lot of categories, it has 23 cross-stitch categories, and they're not... I watched Artist Designs I've now watched multiple State Fair wrap-up videos from Artist Designs, and they have different categories in media. They have like a Chesapeake Bay category, you know, like it's like different state fairs have. Hey guys, so for some reason the file is red for the next 3 minutes, the video. I have no idea why. I cannot fix it. So just letting you know, it is red for 3 minutes. If it really bothers you, fast forward, but I liked the conversation, so I didn't want to cut it out, and it also wouldn't have made sense to cut it out. And it's only 3 minutes. It's not like flashing or anything. It's just weirdly red. And if you hate it, fast forward for 3 minutes. And if you don't, just like look at your stitching. Thanks guys. And some state fairs have 4 categories and some have 1 million. So this is our experiences. However, if you want to enter at your own fair, you might think like, oh, well, let me go look now. When do I need to
Because if you only have 4 categories, that's a hard contest to win. You might think about that Hawk Run Hall.
Yeah. And also, Catherine Turnbull did a state fair wrap up that was really good because her state fair had notes for her. Like, they gave you feedback.
I want feedback.
And Maryland gives you feedback too. And our state fair does not give you feedback. So, I mean, to a little bit, you can be like, well, yeah, I duct taped that. That's probably why I came in. But and also sometimes you're like, okay, well, I came in, but the chart that came in before me is this big. So, there are some things where you just could guess, but like other things where it's like, well, we don't really know what separated in the Christmas ornament category. I don't know what separated some of these. But Catherine Turnbull talked about the emotional readiness you need if you're going to put your hobby needlecraft into a fair where you're going to get notes, and that
would be
that's different, you know, because you are going to get critiqued, and you might say like, I don't want to be critiqued.
It's a hobby.
It's a hobby. I want to enter it so people can see it,
but
I don't want to be critiqued. And so then that's just something you might want to think about too, although I would still encourage you to do it and maybe just throw the notes away. Because
that can be between the judge and himself or herself.
Part of the benefit to me, I think, of entering is, one, it's the only time people get to see it, and people who are not going into, like most people who see needlework are going into an LNS, into someone's home or at a retreat, and so only when someone goes into your home, a home where it's displayed, are they then not already looking for it. And so it's nice to be like, okay, well, it's among the quilts and the cakes and the children's clothes and the crocheted blankets and like people who have all these other hobbies.
Table decorating.
Yeah.
That threw me the first time I saw it. And the second time I saw it, I got it and I was like, we could do this.
Yeah. As we were leaving, there was like a square dancing lesson being taught. Like you're in the middle of all this different art forms. And so you might think like, oh, that one might be interesting. Maybe it did. Like every time I see crochet, I want to do it more, but I also don't ever like go to do it. But so I think you should, if you're curious about entering, I think you should enter, because I think it's good for people who are not needlecraft. Any people who are, but who are not in our specific one, to see it and interact with it and be like, oh my God, that's so cool. So I think you should enter it, but yeah, go check out her video if you think like, oh, I might not love critiquing, being critiqued, like, because that would be different than our experience.
I would think it would be all right. I would just I probably would not have entered some because I would know ahead of time. Oh, they're not going to say this.
Even though I think I think our results were more generous than we expected.
They were much more generous.
So I'm glad I'm glad I'm not worried about that. But yeah, it might be like, okay.
I don't need to hear you say, ooh, that was
and also
terrible.
In not Artist Designs this year, but last year, Amanda May got feedback that a chart was missing part of a border, like her piece, but the chart, she did it as charted. And Catherine got feedback on a knitting piece where they were like, this is in the wrong category. She's like, no, I use specialty yarn, like not double yarn. I don't understand knitting, so like, but anyway, so in both categories, it's like, the judges are not infallible, and hearing their thoughts might also make you enraged a little bit about like, well, that's not even what's going on. So In my experience, entering at the state fair has been 100% positive, but that is not something we have had to think about.
Yeah, true.
All right, so let's go through. Anything else you want to talk about before we start going through the results?
No.
Okay. Like I said, there are 23 categories for cross stitch. 2 of them are in the under needlework and lace. There's a lot of like embroidery, and in the embroidery there are 2 things that are cross stitch, but they're like stamped cross stitch. So there's cross stitch, miscellaneous needlework, embroidery, cross stitch, printed patterns, which I'm pretty sure is stamped cross stitch. And then there's miscellaneous needlework, embroidery, cross stitch, or outline. I don't know what that is. We didn't enter in either of those categories. We didn't even have enough things that we needed to, but so there's 2 cross stitch categories where we are that are actually under embroidery. Then there are categories that are strictly counter cross stitch that we entered, and then there are categories that are all needle work, fiber arts, where the subject is like a holiday or something. A lot of categories. Yeah, and we were not as clear. I was not as clear when I was picking what was going to go in what category, where we were going to be competing against needlepoint, and where we were not going to be competing against needlepoint. Needlepoint is a bigger deal in Oklahoma City than some might expect. It is bigger than cross stitch here. We have a very good needlepoint store, and we have very good needlepoint finishers. And so some of the needlepoint things we saw were breathtaking, but not things I wanted to be competing against.
Right.
It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Because needlepoint is just very different. But
yes.
So it's just good. Next year we'll just keep that in mind.
Or maybe just do a needlepoint project.
Well, I think actually if you took your needlepoint stocking, because it's not fully finished, I think if you fully finished it, it would count as finished.
Yeah. In
the 2-year window and you could enter it as a stocking.
It's terrible.
I think it's great.
I think if you look closer at the stitching, you'll see a 14-year-old did that.
We'll see. We'll see next year.
Okay.
Also, getting a stocking finished if you don't want to finish yours.
Oh, God,
is pricey. Okay. All right. Categories we actually did enter. And I'll just do this first. Okay, so the first category that we entered numerically in order actually is the one Allison blue ribboned in. Blue ribboner, which you guys know because you saw the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So this was counted cross stitch from a graph, indoor scene, under 11 by 14 inches.
That is specific. That's very specifically won that category. All right. Okay.
Yay! We didn't bring all our pieces. We just brought our pieces that did the one piece that was the best for each of us.
We're not going to make you see it. All of
Everything else I've just put inserts of pictures. But I think your frame job in this one too was really good.
This was the easiest one to frame. Oddly enough, fit right in.
I think it's so good. But it was hard. Indoor scenes is hard because most crafts are not indoor scenes. So I didn't even have anything I have things in my whip pile that will be this category, but I don't have anything like finished to even enter in this category.
Yeah.
So I thought that was so good.
And this is, the pattern is No.1 Cinderella by Brook's Books published.
And then you have the little Pinkie the Pink free stool in there.
Which I think made the
Which set it as, because it's not a figure, because there's a figures category. It's not a figure, but that really was like, oh, we really are
it's inside.
In a dressing room.
Indoor category, check.
Yay.
Blue ribbon, check.
And they did not punish Allison for leaving the Goodwill sticker on or anything like that. They just said, check.
Done.
Yay.
And I framed it myself. I am so proud.
I'm so excited.
So easy to do. The rest were not so easy.
Guys, it was really hit or miss. Some of the things were easy. Okay, and then Allison also got 3rd place in this category. Oh yeah. We're not going to show that.
I don't.
Okay. So she did the Witch's Cabinet, which was the stitch along we did by Witch's Garden Crafts. So you can see it here over my face. And she got 3rd place. Yay! Allison has a fat stack of ribbons.
Lay them right there, just for no reason whatsoever.
Just if you're keeping score at home, Allison entered 24 things and got 17 ribbons.
Something like that.
And I entered 19 things and got 12 ribbons. So we came up with a lot of the other colors too, but we came up with
that was my only blue. But
you get a ribbon. There's a lot of
what it felt like.
There's a lot of categories. You're allowed to enter.
You're probably gonna get a ribbon.
You're allowed to enter things over 2 years, which means like some people don't enter the fair every year, so like they'll come next year and they'll just enter everything they did over the last 2 years if they're coming from far away. And you're allowed to enter 2 things. So in some categories, even though the categories this year was much more competitive in terms of like there were many more categories where every ribbon was placed and then where you didn't even ribbon in some categories. It was like, if everyone's allowed to enter 2 things, especially if you specialize in some type of cross stitch. Like if you specialize in Mirabilias, then you're going to enter like in that category twice. So it made it more fun, but it also meant like, oh, you're walking away with a lot of ribbons if you really entered everything you could enter. All right, the next category is outdoor scenes from a graph, which we did not enter. Oh, okay. No, you won, so we don't need to show anything else from that category. In the outdoor scenes from a graph, indoor scene, design area 11 by 14 or larger, we did not enter that category. The winner for that category, I'll show you here, is actually another Flosstuber, Holly Jones, whose channel we watched and was really good. And she does good state fair videos every year, so definitely go check out her channel if you're interested in state fair preview and wrap up style videos. And so she won that, and I think that was a chart a lot of people stitched this summer. Was that summer celebration jubilee?
With the critters everywhere?
No, it's the one in the well, you guys have seen it, but it's the one with the bowl that was like a Blackbird designs, and it's like a bowl of flowers, and it's like I think Callie from Flosstubes and Cousins. It might have been her birthday.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know exactly.
Yeah. So it was really pretty to see that in person.
Pretty, yeah.
Holly Jones entered a lot of Blackbird designs and a lot of Plum Street that I had not seen ever stitched up, and it was really exciting to see them all in person. All right, so the next category is counter cross stitch from a graph, outdoor scenes, design under 11 by 14. And this was a very competitive category. And Allison got 3rd.
Yay! What did I get 3rd?
Your Cinderella. Her Cinderella.
Oh, my other Cinderella.
By the way, Cinderella did cleaned up at the fair. Mm-hmm. Her Cinderella, what's it called? Little Stitcher?
The Little Stitcher.
You're seeing it here. Got 3rd place. And then I entered 2 of my own designs, and they got 9th and 10th.
Yay!
But I don't remember which got 9th and which got 10th, so I'm just going to show the pictures. But here are my ribbons. 9th and 10th place. So that was exciting. One of my takeaways was in categories that were not like chart your own, full coverage could do really well, but like stitch for stitch, if the stitch area looked smaller, it kind of took, I guess it was like, well, that's as many stitches as some of my bigger pieces, but it like it really, like the physical size of a piece really changed it. So like the perspective of it, which I thought was interesting. So I was like, stitch something, everything on 14 and 28 count, make it real big.
Make it big.
All right, the next category we did not enter, which was outdoor scenes 11 by 14 or larger. Okay, the next one is one that actually we both entered 2 things and neither of us placed. It was but I'm sure the winner of the winner for the outdoor scenes was here if I have it for under 11 by 14, and if I have it for over 11 by 14, it's here. I think I grabbed a picture of every blue ribbon, but I won't know until I go to edit if I miss something. And then for a counter cross stitch from a graph, phrases or quotations, design area under 11 by 14. We did not place, but that's okay. We entered things that we didn't think we were gonna place. But I don't remember Laura Greasel one. I don't remember what it was, but if I have it, it's here. But one I do know is Amy Graham got the Morbs.
Oh yeah, that was
so
really
I'll show
cool.
that here too. Amy Graham is Amy K. Graham on Instagram, and we talked about her in our last Flosstube. And she did really well. She'll be mentioned again, but I know people love Got the Morbs, and her finish of that was really good. One of the things that was hard about the way our fair is done is it's cool from a perspective of if you're just visiting, they take all the quilts and all the pieces, they put them in these windows by topic. So there'll be like a Halloween one here and like a kids one here and like Oklahoma stuff here. But it means that if you're trying to figure out like what you lost to or like,
it's very
confusing from that perspective.
They're not in any kind of order.
No.
It's just
so Got the Morbs was in with all the Halloween stuff, and for the most part, a lot of that Halloween stuff was in the Halloween category, but some of it was not.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of from that perspective a little bit harder to like track if you're like wanting to see what you lost to, but like from a perspective of somebody going to the fair, Probably better. All right.
It was beautifully displayed.
And then it's not. It doesn't take up that much space, but your eyes are so tired by the end of it. Yeah, you're just like, I'm done.
Packed. Again, they're behind glass, and these cases are packed full of stitching and quilts and knitting and crochet, and it's so pretty.
Okay, so count a cross stitch from a graph, phrases or quotations 11 by 14 or larger. Allison got 5th place.
Yay!
For her Loved by You, is that what it's called? By Hello from Liz Mathews?
I think it's Loved by You, yeah.
And you guys can see that here.
Or is it How Sweet
I don't know. It's one of the quote is like one thing and then the title is part of it in it. But yeah, she got 5th place. So yay! Okay. Count a cross stitch from a graph figures design area under 11 by 14. Amy, sorry. If I have a winner for the phrases or quotations, the big one, I'll show it here. And then, okay, so next category that we entered, Allison entered figures, and Amy won it. I think her Mirabilia won it. If I have it, I'll put a picture of that. She entered a Mirabilia. I think Andromeda. I don't remember. It's one of those Mirabilias whose name I don't know. That's like one of the more modern ones. Because I tend to stitch the like 90s Mirabilias. Yeah, you do too. Well, that's a 2001.
Mine is a commemorative. It's classic.
So hopefully next year I'll have a Mirabilia. You definitely will. But Allison came in 4th and 5th.
Yay! Which one?
I think that Yule Goddess got 4th and your Mia Mermaid by Mirabilia got 5th, but you'll see them here. I don't remember because it was like they were back to back.
I really don't remember.
And I don't remember. I think Mia Mermaid was 2nd, but it might have been the other way around.
I remember thinking, oh, they liked Mia Mermaid more than I thought they would. Because I thought I did her.
But this category was competitive. Oh, Allison gave me her Yule Goddess. I'm trying to decide if I want to stitch it.
Yeah.
This year or wait till next year. I mean, it wouldn't be done, but do I want to start it this year?
We should start it.
Also, should I do like a fun conversion since I can see yours? Should I do it like a prim conversion or something crazy?
That would be interesting. Google it and see. I think like a pink because it's like greens and reds, but like maybe pink and whites.
Well, what if I did like almost like a heartstring samplery style coloring conversion?
Try it.
Because anyway. That's one of the things that's going to be funny is when we continually enter similar charts year after year because like
we do the same stuff.
Yeah,
we do all those same
we do so many different things, but we also enter a lot of the same things. Yeah. Like we do a lot of the same things. Okay, so from a graph figures 11 by 14 or larger. If I have a picture of the winner, I'll put it here. I don't remember a winner for this category, so I don't. But I will go through all my pictures. Okay, next one: animal design area 11 by 14 or under. Amy Graham won with her Trans Pride Tapestry by these 20 stitches, which is that gorgeous unicorn. I'll put a picture in here. It was so cool to see it in person. Cool. Mm-hmm. And if you're somebody who you're like, I don't know if the fair is for me. I don't feel like the fair might be for me. The fair might have a vibe that's not my vibe. You showing up at a fair at a competition that is relatively small like this can change who else feels like they can participate. Mm-hmm. So don't think that you can't make a difference, and just you showing up and being you and putting yourself out there. Like Amy has now won with pieces that were by artists that maybe wouldn't even have been entered in the fair. Oh, they weren't designed 10 years ago, but like so it's very exciting. And she also came in 4th with another animal, which if I have a picture of, I'll show here. But I came in 7th.
Yay!
With a little piece.
Which one?
Called Charlie.
Oh yeah.
By Pioneer Woman. It was a Pioneer Woman kit. I decided not to do the words, and I added 2 beads for the eyes, and I called it a day, and I framed it, and
it's cute.
It's cute, but I don't know.
It's not your now vibe, but it's cute.
Well, it wasn't my vibe then either. It's not why I stitched it. But
just started stitching.
Yeah, I got a kit at the Salvation. But I don't think it was better than the animals you entered. Is what it's like. So I don't know. So that's where I'm like quibbling. Like I feel like okay, but it is the pieces now in my son's room, and he loves it. And I did get 7th, and that's a good lesson of enter it. If you're entering, if it was the only thing I would go to the fair for, I probably wouldn't have entered it. But like, I thought about not entering it, and I just got it framed and I entered it. And
it's cute.
It was a good.
It's very cute.
Yeah. Okay, and then Allison came in 8th and 10th in this category. And I don't, for the life of me, remember.
I can't. 8th and 10th.
Oh no, am I mixing up our ribbons? That's not good. Guys.
Well, they all have our names on the back.
Oh, that's true.
We're okay.
Okay. Yeah, they have been just like. Okay.
I don't remember what animals I might have.
So you definitely entered Cornelius.
Did I enter the turkey?
You entered Cornelius and the deer.
Then that was the deer.
The tiny Modernist deer.
Cornelius did not win at all. I don't know what category. He was in linen or something.
Oh, he was in a different category. Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay, so well, you entered the deer.
Right here.
I'm gonna show a picture of it. You entered the tiny Modernist deer, but then did you enter something else? You definitely entered 2 because you placed twice. What am I talking about? But what was the thing? So,
I can't remember. No idea. No idea.
Well, you guys are seeing it. We just don't remember. But you guys saw a picture of it because I have pictures of it.
It was 20-something projects. I don't.
Allison's like, I don't remember what I fixed yesterday.
I don't. I had
Okay.
to ask you, did I finish this last week? The week before?
Just hired you. Just like, wait a minute. Okay. I just cut out me coughing probably. Okay. Counted cross stitch animals 11 by 14 or larger. If I have these, I feel like were really impressive. The bigger ones.
Which one?
The ones that were 11 by 14 or larger. I don't remember. If I have a picture, I'll stick it here. But I think it was like, remember we saw that like big cow or bull or something, and we were like, oh. There was one that was like, oh.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them were like that.
Yeah, there was a lot of
very
really
impressive
Oh,
stuff.
I'm glad I didn't know I was entering against that.
I mean, one category specifically, I'm like, oh, no one would ever win against that.
Patriotic.
Ever. Yes.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
I'm never going to stick something that good, ever.
All right, counted cross stitch from a graph, original design. So this is one that I was like, let me get Pinkie Palace done for it. I came in 3rd. Pinkie Palace came in 3rd. Yay. And then my Grand Teton National Park came in 5th.
Yay.
And so it's my only 3rd place. I came in 3rd in this category last year too. And then one of my 5th places.
I think I got 6th last year.
In outdoor.
Yeah, I mean, because I only had one.
Yeah.
It was a 6th.
But outdoors is really competitive. We're learning little things about like which categories are really competitive. Okay, so the person who won that category, okay guys, the thing that won this category is so good and so completely nutso. I'm gonna put a picture here. That you're like, does that even qualify as the same hobby that I have?
Which one?
It was like the patriotic one that was like
the flags.
Yeah.
All the flags.
Not the flag. It was one of the 3 of those. Yeah.
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 My favorite was all the flags, but the other flag that was just the words flag was.
One of those was original category, like original charted, and one of those was patriotic, and then one of those in that 3 section was linen.
What do you bet they charted all of those?
One of them was by.
You could only enter
two
and
of
win
the,
one.
Two
of
of
those
them were by
categories.
one stitcher, and they also won best of show, and then one was by a different stitcher.
So good.
Yeah, they were really good. You guys just seen a picture. I can't. Anyway, they were really good.
Very memorable.
Counted cross stitch sampler. I already put a picture on our last Flosstube on Instagram. Amy Graham won her pandemic one sampler, but then her other sampler came in 2nd, and I can't remember off the top of my head what it was. But she got 1st and 2nd in that category, which is like,
go Amy.
Which is crazy.
Awesome.
Allison, we both entered, and actually I entered 1 piece, you entered 2 pieces, and you got 10th in that category. And honestly,
I'm pretty sure it was
Elenor Rigby.
Elenor,
Her Elenor Rigby came in, and we did both of our Beatles pieces as. Oh, I didn't mention mine was Yellow Submarine by.
Never gone there yet.
Oh. Guys, okay. Well, Allison won, and that was something she stitched for our Fab 4 fan Sal and Sarah Stitchy Spots BBD Magical Mystery Tour Sal. So that was exciting, and it was on 40 count.
My first 40 count, yes. Nope, second 40 count.
First
I did it
finish?
on the first 40 count finish.
Yeah. Okay. So the one that was the next category was linen or other fabric, and that is where I showed. This is what won that category, and so like, you know, what are you gonna do against that? But I came in second, so I feel like I came in first among the rest.
Yeah, for real.
And this was my yellow submarine that I did for the Fab Four fan sal, and I was happy because this category is like what do you put in this category? But I felt like even though this was a 28 count, it was an interesting linen choice. It was like the linen made the piece, or you know,
they just go so good together.
So, and this is one where I professionally framed it.
Did you say you have another piece for the octopus?
Yeah, but I'm not going to use it because I got the called for ordered. So I'm going to save it for something else. It's a beautiful piece of linen, but I'm going to do something. I'll just do something else on it. I have a lot of aquatic themed whips, so it will get used.
So great.
But that was the piece. This is the piece that I did that like fared the best, like, and so I was very proud of that. And then I also came in. No, you came in third in that category.
Yay.
With what piece came in third? With Peacock, your Peacock.
Oh,
her Peacock Pincushion came in third.
That's awesome.
And that was kind of Cornelius, didn't it?
Oh yeah. Cornelius did one.
And then I came in fourth. My oh my gosh, what's the piece called? My Alforest pumpkin chart.
The carriage. Something.
Yeah, but what's it called?
Pumpkin carriage, right? No.
Yeah, something like that. I've said it now on 100 million whips. Everyone's like, God, you talk about that all the time. Why can't you remember it? Maybe the pumpkin carriage. Anyway, that came in fourth in that category, and that was on a Whittier linen.
Never. The first and last.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll decide.
Yeah.
I don't support Whittier linen. I just have a lot in my stash that I couldn't sell, so I'm thinking I gotta figure out ways to use it.
No.
I think I'm gonna use it.
Life's too short.
Oh, let me go back. There was one thing I wanted to say under samplers I missed. That the sampler that came in third, where is it? Was one that I think everyone will want to see. It was Jennifer Wilder, who I'll tag her Instagram account. She's J Wild or something on Instagram. A lot of you guys follow her, I know, because when I went to go follow her, I saw like, oh, she's already like in the community of people that I follow. She did, her third place was Jack's Bash, which I know this time of year everyone wants to see a beautiful Jack's Bash finish. So, okay, so for counted cross stitch other, no, we already did that category. No, we didn't. No. Okay, for counted cross stitch other, if I have a picture of the winner, I'll put it here. I can't remember the winner of this category because this was like a category that's like you put
whatever you can't put in a different category.
Yeah. And for some people that meant things that literally fit nowhere else. Like there was a lot of Carolyn Mannings in this category. And for some people that meant like they had too many of other things. And
there were some like Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. Where you came in ninth. And I think that was your turkey, right?
Maybe.
I think Allison's, whatever came in ninth this year, I think it was your little turkey pillow because other holidays, I think.
Oh, yeah. Or
no. I don't know, whatever came in ninth this year. I'm confused now. It's fine. All right, so then they went into some embroidery categories, stuffed toys, cloth dolls, scroll, and then there was like crochet. Their Christmas stockings were split into counted cross stitch and crochet. If I have a picture of the counted cross stitch stocking that won, it's here. There were not a lot of entries in this category because it is hard to cross stitch a stocking. The next category was Christmas ornaments, and the ornament that won I'll put here, which will give you some context for what's about to happen next.
Yeah.
Because the person that won owns the needlepoint store and did a 3D needlepointed cross stitch ball, and it's so beautiful.
And I'm gonna figure out how to do it.
And I have been researching Allison. I was like, I think we could stitch whatever we want as long as we stitch it like this.
Exactly like this. Yeah.
And it was so inspiring and wonderful. But they also like own the needlepoint store, so it was also like, okay, well, they maybe have seen some things that we haven't seen in our day. And also, I forgot we're competing against needlepoint in that category. Yeah. And needlepoint with Christmas stuff is just so beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a cross stitch person. I have a cross stitch first and only. I've needlepointed, but like cross stitch is my one true love. But I do think there's something magical about Christmas needlepoint stuff that I don't feel like about other patterns that they do. Yeah. But we have a great store. It's called Sukasa, and the one person that owns it, and their store is wonderful. And the people that do the finishing for that store is wonderful, and we could hire them if we ever wanted to spend the money on finishing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did
the
ball. It was like a true.
Yeah. Did you get a picture?
I did. Yeah. So there you go. So then Allison came in second.
Of the normal ones.
Of the ones that were spherical Christmas ornaments. And Allison's was her traditional mill hill kit that she did on Christmas Red Ada. And had the back hot glued, so that was not held against her.
It worked. Yay.
And then I came in 8th and 9th in this category. My Alforus Winter Birds came in 8th. And then my Yule Goddess Cardinal, what was the Yule Stitch Along? It was Yule Stitch Along. The Cardinal that I pulled from the Yule Stitch Along by Witch's Garden Crafts came in 9th. And then this is where I'm like, I don't agree. I think your cat was better than my 2 ornaments. Because your red bobble cat is bigger than that.
It's adorable.
It's adorable. I think
it should have placed somewhere. I'm not saying it's better than yours, but
it placed 10th.
Did it place 10th?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just think it was better than mine.
I don't think it was better.
I think like objectively, red bobble cat, the pattern is better. The finishing was better. It was actually finished better. It's bigger. It took more. Like I'm like, because I know exactly how much work went into.
Yours was classier though. Maybe that's what they were going for. The point is, we didn't get feedback.
Yeah, I object. I think there's no way that Red Bobble Cat, which you guys are seeing, wasn't. So if you want to see everything else was where it belonged. Of those 3.
Are you sure I got 10th? I don't have another
Yes.
10th rhythm ribbon.
It's right here. Christmas. Oh, because you didn't take it off. When I brought her stuff over, I just hung it where the pieces go, but I left their ribbons on, so she was collecting the ribbons. So yeah, so it's over there.
It's over there.
I just objectively, I would say like
it's gorgeous, but I wouldn't say that.
And it's red bobble cat by December
They're very
Stitches.
Different kinds of ornaments.
No, they had the same finishing type, and my patterns were not very difficult. Like both of mine were about 500 stitches, and that's probably 1,000 stitches.
I don't know.
It just doesn't make sense to me, but it's fine. It's fine. All right. Christmas miscellaneous category. If I have a picture of I do have a picture of the piece of one because it was the Needlepoint store owner's. Her name is Lynn Sanchez. Her beautiful needlepoint nativity.
Oh yeah.
It was gorgeous, but it's like
nativity.
I didn't know I was competing against an entire nativity. But it's fine.
So we mostly did smalls.
Yeah. So we entered smaller things, but that piece was so beautiful and inspiring, and it really made me. I've never been interested in stitching a nativity, and I'm not interested in stitching a nativity of individual stand-ups, but it was really pretty seeing one. I really enjoyed seeing it. Mm-hmm. But it did think like, okay, so what would beat that at a cross stitch? You'd have to do like Hawk Run Hollow, Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow or something beat that if you like. But you don't need to win. It's not about the ribbons.
No.
But it was beautiful. But Allison came in 7th.
Yay.
Well,
Christmas Other?
No, yeah, Christmas Other.
That was, if it was the one I entered, I told you to enter, it was Yule Goddess, Christmas Other.
Was it Yule Goddess in figures?
I don't know. You kind of helped me.
I think she was in. What was your Christmas?
I don't remember. I did a lot of Christmas.
Oh, no, it was that Simba Street Holiday Glow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was really good. So that came in 7th. And then my 2023 Prairie Schooler Santa came in 8th. Yay! Which you guys are seeing a picture of, which I really liked. I thought it was really good, and I agreed with where they placed because it was like, these are not stand-up nativities, but they were both really good.
Yeah.
All right. Easter, we did not enter. If I have a picture of the winner, I will insert it here. I don't know if I do. Patriotic.
It was the Mirabilia, right? The Easter.
Was Gathering Eggs?
I think it was Gathering Eggs.
We'll put a picture here.
Yeah.
Patriotic, we also did not enter. And here's a picture of the winner of that.
could not compete.
I don't even know. Like, yeah, that'd be one thing where you'd like enter Lady of the Flag and be like so angry.
I know that I wouldn't even play.
And then for holidays, Halloween. Oh, Jennifer Wilder again. She's the one that stitched Jack's Bash. She won with a witchy stitcher. I think it was a witchy stitcher Halloween. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll insert a picture of it. It was so gorgeous, and it was so gorgeous seeing it in person. And then I came in. Oh, my Baba Yaga came in 5th. And they did not punish me that the frame was basically falling apart. They just like nicely tilted it back. And when I went to pick it up, the woman said, oh, it was so nice we didn't have to put this one on the wall. Because people, it's like you can't put everything on the wall. People get so mad when their stuff's not on the wall. And we could just lean yours. But then she said, no, I don't know if the judge does appreciate it. But we did.
Okay,
I haven't put it back
Yeah.
on my wall at home. It's just kind of sitting. So I came in 5th. But I was happy because that was my biggest Halloween-ish thing. And then, I also came in 8th. Oh, my Liz Mathews October Quaker, the little boo ornament came in 8th.
It was so cute.
Was not punished for it basically being duct taped together. So it came in 8th. And I love it. And I put it up and my husband's like, what is this? And I was like, it's holiday decor. What is this? Why is there? Because he doesn't even come from a place where Halloween is like a thing. And when we lived in Bulgaria, I did Halloween with him, but he wasn't really aware of it. He's not into doing Halloween with our kids. He's just kind of like out of the Halloween game. So he's like, what is? I was like, it's Halloween. He's like, okay. And Allison came in 9th.
Yay!
What was your Halloween piece?
Probably my ghosty.
Oh yeah, her Ghost by Lindsay Swearengin from the creepy cross stitch book. Mm-hmm. And yes, that was very cute.
Super cute.
All right, holidays, all other holiday items. This is where your turkey came in.
Oh, okay.
Her little turkey pillow came in 5th. You know, if you enter that little Santa, I probably would have placed it in this category too.
It might have.
All right, so that is all of the categories, all of our ribbons. Maybe. Let's see. Let's look.
Category 20.
Oh, that's helpful. Other. It was just the ones from other.
No idea.
Okay. Well, if we here it is again. Allison's 6. Whatever Allison got in 6th place.
I got this one.
Other, and then her other 9th place. We don't know. And then okay, so there were 4 best in show ribbons for needlework. And they're all things that, so the way our best in show works is that there was a best of show 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place, and then there was a best of show Christmas/holidays. And we have, so those are all pieces that also placed, they had to have won their category. It's not like they then got raised out of their category, but I'll just go ahead and show them again. So this is the 1st place for best in show, the 2nd place for best in show, and they're by Cheryl Sharif. And 3rd place best in show was by Jody Voiles. And then the holiday best of show was Lynn Sanchez, who is the Needlepoint store owner. So, and those were all put in their own category. So we know for a fact that the thing that got the best in show for Needlepoint for the holidays was the Needlepoint. It's not like a portfolio. So it's not like if you turn in 10 Hot Run Hollows, they'd be like, oh, well, this is best in show. It's like only one piece gets it. And I think that's the same for everywhere, but I don't. If you don't know of state fairs or whatever, that's kind of how it goes. So that was all of the things, and that was really exciting and fun. It was a lot of things. What would you do differently next year?
Well, this next year, I've decided to work on larger pieces, so there will be less entries, but I want larger, more complex pieces.
Just for the fun of what
Just
you
for
want.
the fun. Like, I recently did Cryonic for the first time, and I love how sparkly it is, and it's beautiful, and it's worth it. And I'm gonna have more beads, so bigger.
And she'll have showed that on our Flosstube this week. If you want to know and you haven't seen it, come see her. Yeah, but you decided you wanted bigger finishes, independent of the state fair, and that will happen to be things.
Right.
But that
so
will
for
also
the
be
next
kind of
year,
fun.
I'll have bigger.
So you probably have fewer,
Less.
but although you might not have less because you're finishing things like a state champ.
Yeah.
You might not have less.
I might. I think because I have some full coverages I want to finish, and those definitely take longer.
Yeah. I think for me, Well, one, I want to just FFO things. I've set myself a deadline. Things need to be framed or at the framers or in whatever final form they're going to be within 2 floss tubes after I show it. So that gives me about a month. Unless there's like a really important reason why they can't be, like if there's a sewing situation or something. Yeah. I need to get it framed, but it's going to be a $600 frame. Then like,
it's going to cost them.
But because I don't want to end up with half of my things not FFO'd in the last month. Yeah. And also that means if you're trying to hurriedly finish something to stitch up for the fair, that's the only thing you have to worry about FFOing. You don't have to do that and FFO. Mm-hmm. I had 10 things I had to FFO right before the fair.
I had more than that. I don't remember.
Every.
I think all of them.
All of them.
Yeah. All of them. Yeah.
Like, but it was really fun. I had a lot of fun again.
Yeah,
I would like to keep doing it.
And I feel like it was a crash course in fully finishing stuff. Like, yes, it was a lot, but I learned a lot in a very short amount of time.
Yeah,
it's good.
I've tried, so the sampler that I finished, I've tried to frame that twice now since I finished it a month ago, and I haven't gotten it. And I don't want to give up because I do want to get it. So, but it's like, okay, I'm not saving till the end to find out that I need help. It's like, okay, if I try one more time and I still can't get it, then I cannot get it to get straight. But I loved it. It was fun. I also feel like it's so much fun seeing other people's stuff. Mm. I never want to compete against needlepoint again. I just don't want to. Like, have your own categories. They do. But the holidays, we don't need to share holiday
We
categories.
don't need to share. No. Not shares.
But I do like the store, and I like going down and seeing the stuff. Mm-hmm. I just don't want to.
I have a needle minder.
Yeah. Actually, the needle minder that's on my... It's on my chatelaine that I'm going to show when we film our Flosstube. The Flosstube that already came out, we're filming in 10 minutes. But that's the store, and they have finished. And it's like also like, okay, you know, you're competing against things that are professionally finished. It was nice that some of that didn't seem to matter as much as other things.
I don't think it took it into consideration
because
at all.
I know that Amy, who won samplers, FFO'd her own stuff, and you could tell on the finishes, as gorgeous as they were, that some of them were FFO'd at home. Not just hers, across all of our stuff. And it did not seem to affect where they got placed, which was really nice. So I didn't feel like priced out of the state fair.
Mm-mm. No, that felt good. It was really about whatever
the stitching,
stitched.
yeah. Now, do some of my things need to be re-FFO'd?
Maybe.
I think the one that I really would re-FFO is Baba Yaga, but I think it's just going to be what it is. It's just stuck in there.
Well, technically, 3 of mine are just on stretcher bars. So
This,
I will be
a couple. I think if you wanted to leave, Yule got us on a stretcher bar. The problem is that you didn't plan to have them on stretcher bars, so the stretcher bars are not quite even on both sides because you didn't have the margin.
No, they are what they are. Yeah. You can't pick what side.
But I think the only piece that got robbed is I think if your pink, which one? Garden Skulls. I think if that had been professionally framed and highlighted just how important the work on it was, that it would have been bumped up. But also that category is insanely competitive, so maybe not. So do you want to spend $200 on a frame to maybe get 10th place? Probably not.
In fact, I didn't reframe it. I hung it. It's wrapped over
a light blue.
It's wrapped over a light blue, particle board.
Why don't you go get real stretcher bars for it then if you like it like that?
Because it looks fun. Like it looks good.
But there were a couple pieces of yours that I felt got robbed. I didn't think any of my stuff got robbed.
It was a very competitive.
And robbed, I mean, like with 1 or 2 places, not like something.
There should have been a blue ribbon.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, okay, well, for the most part, the blue ribbons were like somebody's BAP.
Yeah.
And
not mine.
Almost every, but still, yours was 1,000,000 beads.
There's a lot of beads, but not even. I didn't even use the Krynic that we were supposed to use.
But like, it was a very complicated, beautiful gown, and
I love it. I love it. That was great.
But so it was like, if you turn in a Hawk Hollow or a Mirabilia, it might win, but also it might not because it's kind of like in each category there were just some things that were really big. Mm-hmm. But it was really fun. I will totally do it again.
Mm-hmm. I will be doing it next year, yes. But for fun, if it ever becomes, if you hear me in like December talking about how I need to hurry up because the state fair is in September, slap me across the face. We're doing this for fun.
Yeah, but in August, you could be like, no, this is going in the State Fair. But running our cross-stitch year is kind of like September, September through August, and then doing our finishing parades in August and stuff. It's kind of a nice way to also break up our year, because that way it's not like, because Christmas stitching and stuff, you don't feel like, oh, I won't have gotten anything done if I don't get it done by January or by December, but also I want to stitch this Christmas stuff. It kind of sets it so that then you get to stitch all of the fall and winter holidays seasonally without feeling any pressure. And then you can start thinking in January, like, okay, what do I want to get done this year? Mm-hmm. My plans video will record in November. I got some thoughts.
She won't tell me.
I want you guys to see it, her reaction.
I'm scared. Yeah.
We'll find out. But yeah, so I feel like it kind of gives us a nice calendar to our cross stitch where you can look back and be like, okay, I got a lot done. And now I can focus on these wonderful holiday pieces, but also I want to get some of these done because I know I'm not going to want to stitch them next summer, and I do want to enter some Halloween stuff. So I feel like it gives me one extra reason to push things over the finish line and not dawdle. You don't really need extra pushing up to go ahead and get stuff finished. But, yeah. All right. Well, it was really fun. If you have a state fair or a county fair, I highly encourage you. Ours was free to enter. We had to pay for tickets to go see the fair. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But ours was free.
But we had fun
to enter. And we don't do any, when we go down, we just go see this stuff. We could go do other things, but it's like we didn't. All right.
Because all you do is eat. That's the only thing I want to do at the fair.
Yeah, and we didn't want to spend $30 on food, and I don't want to do rides. I do like going to the other exhibits and stuff, but like, you're tired. By the time you see 500 cross-stitch pieces, you're tired.
We had to leave immediately because cheesecake on a stick is a real thing.
Yeah. So. And also, we wanted to get to the craft store.
We had to get to the craft store.
We had to go buy some DMC and stuff before we needed to go home, and so it was like we were more interested in starting our next crafts than like continuing to see the fair. It was fun. But when we left, they were like, you're leaving?
I know. Didn't you just walk in here?
Yeah. They're like, what are you doing? But it was really fun. And if you're in Oklahoma, I encourage you to do it. It is kind of a burden the way that you have to like basically go to Oklahoma City 3 times if you're not from the surrounding area. But you can ask friends to pick up your stuff and drop it off. So I have told one friend that I would. I can't do it for like a lot of people because obviously, like, you only have so much room in your car.
I don't want to be responsible for your blue ribbon winning.
But like, it's like, because sometimes I had to pick up Allison stuff by myself, so like I already had 2 stuff. But I was like, well, I could take one more person's stuff. So I told one friend that if they want to drop their stuff off with me, I'll take it, because it is a burden to then come down, drop it off, come and see the fair, and then come back and drop it off, all in a 2-week period. Yeah. But if you can do it, it was really fun. And in Oklahoma, you can do every 2 years worth of stuff. Some places you can do 3 years worth of stuff. So, like,
if you can't make it this year,
then you could just be like, okay, well, I'll do that, but I'll do it
every other
year. Yeah. So, because Oklahoma City's in the middle of the state, but I don't know. Every state fair isn't in the middle. Like the Texas State Fair would be really annoying to enter. I don't know what their rules are, but if you didn't live in Dallas.
So they're probably way more competitive too.
Yeah. So yeah, there might be more people in Texas.
Maybe a few. Anyway.
But it was super fun. If you have the ability to do it, I would suggest do it. I will link to the Art of Design State Fair wrap-up videos and Catherine's wrap-up video. And I will also link to the Nell from Little Yellow House Crafts video, because her video is the video that inspired me last year to do it and then to force you to do it. Even though she doesn't really publish anymore, I do like to go back and watch her old videos. I will go back and watch her old videos. She's probably like, why are people still watching my videos? I quit, leave me alone. But I am checking in on her still. I'll be like, are you updating? She's like, no, I quit. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and you'll get our next extra and our next tutorial in your feed. If you made it to this point in the video, leave a trophy emoji for all of these ribbons that we won. Allison's a blue ribboner. Yay. And if you have entered your state fair, we'd love if you left your experience in the comments so people can check out the comments for their own advice for if they want to enter. All right, bye guys.
Bye.